Okay, so this first one is LU-0005-26. Joel Rhodes with JD Rhodes Investments LLC is requesting a conditional use permit for multifamily dwellings. This is located in Lot 6, Block 3 of the 13-mile Center subdivision, which is Section 12, Township 156 North, Range 101 West, being Tyrone Township. We have not received comment back on this project from the township. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to renovate and operate multifamily dwellings within the urban residential zoning district. Parcel contains 6 multifamily units that were built in 2012. They were previously utilized as employee housing for the travel center located to the south of the property. When they were used as such, the owners at the time had a hotel/motel license through the state of North Dakota and were able to occupy the buildings under that license. Since that time, the hotel motel license has expired and the units have been vacant since fall of 2023. This was brought before you in December of 2025 by Richard Sherman of WP North Dakota A LLC and was approved by the County Commission in January. Since that time, Joel Rhodes has purchased the property and, as per the Williams County zoning ordinance and subdivision regulations, is required to come back before the boards for approval as conditional use permits are non-transferable. It is the applicant's intent to make necessary improvements and renovations to the buildings in order for them to be back into productive use. The access to the subject property is off of 13-mile Center Road Northwest.
Thank you, Michelle. Any questions for staff?
Other than the county criteria, did we add anything to what you guys had last time, or have you added it in already?
I already added it in. The ones that were added, I believe it was, let me see. Hold on. They haven't opened the public hearing yet. They did, it was the owner would be responsible for snow removal and road maintenance, and then the buffer fence must be constructed on the south and west sides of the property that come up next to that rural commercial area.
Okay, anything else? I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the public? Please come forward, state your name for the record.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tashina Greaves with TG Contractor Services and TG Property Management. So I was there today, and I have since we received your decision approval on January 6th. There is a chain link fence that's 4.5 to 5 feet tall going on the entire south side of the property to where the corner lot is, and I did bring a video of proof of that. But there is no fence to the west, but that entire like 3-4 acre area to the west, that is still just vacant field. There are no new buildings out there. So but we would build the fence on the west side, but we're wondering if we would still need to build a fence on the south side, since one does exist.
I'm wondering when we brought that buffer up, if it was for sound.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I believe, if I remember right, it was the fact that if it's going to be multifamily and there's children running around, since the new owners took over that truck stop, or it's very busy. They're doing a really good job up there, and it would seem to me like we'd be kind of short-sighted not to, put some little bit of hindrance in from them just going across the road. So.
Does that mean that the south fence is sufficient how it is now?
And tell us again what height that was. Was it 4 feet?
It's it's about a little over, it's between, it's like 4.5 feet, like 4 feet 4 inches.
And it's chain link.
It is chain link fence.
Okay,
and I do have photo or video of it.
Well, that would be kind of hard to show to all of us, but
It does go all the way from the light blue, southeast corner of the lot, all the way to the other, southwest corner. And it's continuous.
Commissioners, thoughts to her
When-
question?
When they submit for building permit applications, that is something that we could look at as well at that point in time and make sure that it is sufficient and operational, functional, not like half up, half down.
With no openings or at least a gate. Okay, thank you. Other comments? Questions? Anybody else from the public wish to speak to this application before I close the hearing? Hearing none. Close the public hearing. Turn it over to the board.
I make
Okay.
a motion to approve with the staff comments.
And a second.
I'll second.
George got the second, I think, ahead of you, Tori. We have a second. Further comments? Were there any comments from the township? I didn't see it in the packet.
Not on this particular time through, when they were previously came through when it was Richard Sherman, they did make comments that they wouldn't be responsible for road maintenance or snow removal. So we just kind of added that in as a condition since that was something they had previously mentioned.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Barry,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, so the second one that we have tonight is LU-0006-26, Ed Rintamaki on behalf of Art and Ann Anderson Revocable Trust. They're requesting a variance from the minimum lot width of 150 feet within the rural residential zoning district. This is currently located in Farm Unit 100 of Section 7, Township 152 North, Range 103 West, being Buford Township. Buford Township is undecided on their recommendation. Township has concerns with the access road and who will be responsible for it in the future, as well as it being a dead end. They also express concerns if the lots will be rezoned. The applicant is requesting the minor subdivision, which will create 2 lots. The subject property is approximately 20.65 acres and within that rural residential zoning district. The newly created lots will be approximately 5.29 acres and 14.99 acres. Both of the proposed lots do meet the minimum required acreage of the rural residential zoning district and will remain in that district. The applicant is requesting a variance from the minimum lot width of 150 feet as outlined in the Williams County Zoning Ordinance and Subdivision Regulations, Chapter 2-3-5.2. The lot width for the proposed lot is approximately 135 feet. The purpose of the minor subdivision is to separate the home on the subject property from the rest of the lot. Access to the newly created lots is taken off of 150th Avenue Northwest. The minor subdivision is currently going through the review process with the lots to be known as MS 26-0001 and MS 26-0002. Recordation of the plat will be contingent on the approval of this variance.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Hearing none, I will open the public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak to this issue? Is there anyone representing the applicant here? How about the township board? Pretty quiet Thursday night. If there's no other comments, I'll close the public hearing and turn it over to the board. Commissioners, one of my notes that I wrote on this project was, should it be sent back to the township to work out the access issues and the road issues?
one question I got is, so obviously there is an existing place. And the township was okay with that. If you, obviously were gonna split off and make another 5 acre parcel, but now they have a problem with that? Um, I don't, it seems to be sort of a fallback thing for the townships to go, well, we're not gonna do anything, we're not gonna, maintain or no snowplow, no, but evidently somebody was taking care of this place to start with. If you drive down the road with the road grader plowing snow, you have to turn around somewhere. If these two lots are next to each other, I don't see the problem with having another lot. And sometimes I forget, I wonder if they forget who they're supposed to be serving, but
Barry, do you see where the access to that big long panel is? That's what I'm trying to see where you access to get to them. If you got to cross this one lot to get to the other one, or where you go?
So currently, we're working with both Ed and Jeff, our new county surveyor, out at County Highway. We're working on the access. On the map, you can the dimensions it's not laid out perfect, but you can see right along that towards the north side of that property. That's about where the property line actually sits, is where that little road that you can kind of see is, just to the north of the home. And that is where they are planning, it sounds like, to take access right along the property line. They own the property to the north as well. We're just trying to figure out and work out the logistics of getting it on the plat to show actual access for legal access. Correct. Yep. So that road really does, or that access to their field there does sit right about on the property line.
so are they gonna be required to give the second home an access easement then?
From my understanding, they don't plan to sell the other lot. Right. And that's why we said that there has to be we're working out trying to figure out how to get the access onto the plat so then it is showing legal access. So if it does ever get sold in the future, it's not a landlocked parcel. The access on the south side is just that, like the canal road that is for private use only anyway, and there would be no way for them to access it from that south side so really their only option is to go along that north boundary line.
So the second parcel will have to access through that 5.29.
Right
acres.
along like the north edge, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I guess there should be an easement of some sort in there right now.
If for some reason other property changes hands, 20 years from now or whatever, I mean, you don't want to be, I can't get to my place now.
Correct.
Well, I think
Yep.
we
And
run
it's
into
a
this-
quarter section line, so it's not even a public section.
I think we run into this exact thing down at Welty, where them kids couldn't get to their land because they had to go past the home place and they didn't have rights to get in there, if I remember right, a couple of years ago.
Cameron, comments?
Yeah, if I just may add to what Michelle's being very diplomatic, and which is great, and she does a great job at that. But yeah, currently we are, lack of better terms, butting heads right now with Ed about that on the minor subdivision, that he feels that because they own the parcel to the north and the two parcels that will be created, that they don't need to have a public or private easement to access that. And our concern is, we've learned in the past, when we landlock a parcel, things change hands over the years, then that becomes landlocked. So it may eventually end up as an appeal straight to the county commission if he disagrees. But the last writings that we had is that he was not going to be doing that. So it's something we're working on through the minor subdivision process administratively, but it may eventually make its way to the county commission for an appeal.
Would tabling this application be the best idea then?
Well, even if this were, let's say, approved, it still wouldn't be able to be recorded until we could figure that out. Our surveyor is off on maternity leave with his wife until the end of the month, but Michelle and I are going to consult with the state's attorney as far as language He's got some other issues too on the plat that he's disagreeing with staff on in the ordinance. And so we do have some things that we have to work out administratively. Even if this were to be approved, it still wouldn't be recorded until it was approved administratively as far as the minor subdivision goes. And I
So,
was hoping Ed would be here tonight, but
so,
Sorry, can you use
it's
your
not
mic?
it's not gonna cost them. And I mean, it's just more paperwork. I mean, it's not like it's gonna cost them a whole lot of money just to go, sign this, agree with that, and we'll be done with it.
And if they put that access easement on the plat, they don't even have to sign any additional, because it'll just be access easement for this plat and show it on there. So once they sign the plat and it gets recorded, then it will be a permanent access. They don't have to build up any roads or do anything like that unless that lot is sold and is developed at that point in time. Then they would need to put in build it up to county standards, do like a road maintenance agreement, all of that stuff. But at this point, I don't foresee that in the future.
and the only cost that could come from that is if the surveyor charges anything, and I couldn't comment on necessarily what if or anything would be charged to record that.
Well, I don't really see where there'd be a whole lot of surveying because I can see the driveway right there. All you'd have to do is just continue it on. And
I would agree.
when they continue on their own driveway, that they can have a driveway whatever they see fit. I mean, the county standards on a personal driveway, don't really, yeah. And it still doesn't, it's not a public access, so I don't really see an issue.
Yeah, we would just some sort of private easement to gain access to that parcel, but nothing, if it's not going to be developed, we're not going to require the costs to be put in there to make it up to county standards.
Cameron, we can make that a stipulate. To have an easement in place.
It certainly could. It would help staff out as well, probably to guide us through this process. That could certainly be an added stipulation.
Any questions on line number 2 in the comments? For emergency services access?
Well, wouldn't they would probably go into that if they developed that chunk of land, because then you'd get into the road, bring the road up to standards. And the EMS, if they don't develop it, there really wouldn't be any reason to worry about the EMS, would it?
Yep. So that is one of our requirements when they do a road or an access into a property. If it's over a certain length, they have to have a cul-de-sac or a turnaround area that is of a specific width to allow for emergency services to be able to turn around any vehicles that they would need to. So like Mark said, absolutely, they would need to do that if they were to ever sell and then develop that piece of property.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that the township was covered on it. Okay, any other questions? What are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve it with staff comment. And put a stipulation that there has to be a road easement in place when they're done with it.
And a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, James. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Dan.
Okay, next one we have tonight is LU-0008-26. Crystal Erickson is requesting a zone change to the rural residential zoning district for an approximately 11.05 acre lot. This is located in Lot 3 of Simonson's second subdivision, being Section 10, Township 153 North, Range 98 West, which is Truax Township. The township has recommended approval of the zone change. The applicant is requesting a zone change to the rural residential zoning district for the subject property. This lot is currently in the agricultural zoning district, however, does not meet the minimum required acreage for that district. The applicant is going through the boundary line adjustment process as well to adjust the lot lines between lots 2 and 3 of Simonson's second subdivision. In order to go through the boundary line adjustment process, the parcels do need to be in the same zoning district, which is the reason for the zone change. Access to the subject property is taken off of 119th Road Northwest, also known as County Road 15B.
Questions for staff? Could we zoom out a little bit and take a little higher view of this? Thank you. I was trying to orient it with all the other subdivisions down there. Thank you. Any other comments before I open the public hearing? Anybody else wish to comment on this application? Any other questions? It's a public hearing. Anybody else wish to speak? Third and final time. Turn it over to staff. We turn it over to the commission. Thoughts, wishes, questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the zone change to rural residential as presented.
Thank you. And a second.
I'll second.
We have a second. Further discussion? Comments or concerns? Third and final time. Close the public hearing. Excuse me. We need a motion. Somewhere I'm getting lost in here tonight. I don't know what it is. A motion in a second. Roll call in.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries. My apologies. This getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to load grain trucks isn't what it used to be.
The next one we have tonight is LU-0010-26. Leon Brackey, on behalf of the Deering Farm LLC, is requesting a variance for a newly created lot to remain in the agricultural zoning district that does not meet the minimum required acreage. It is located in the south half of the southeast of Section 32, Township 159 North, Range 98 West, being Big Stone Township, and they have recommended approval on this project. The applicant is requesting a minor subdivision, which will create 2 lots. The parent parcel is approximately 79.96 acres and within the agricultural zoning district. The newly created lots will be approximately 5.38 acres and 74.58 acres. The larger lot will remain in the agricultural zoning district, while the applicant is requesting a variance for the 5.38 acre lot to also remain in that agricultural zoning district. Purpose of the minor subdivision is to separate one of the homes from the farm outbuildings and tillable land. Access to the subject property is off of 125th Avenue Northwest. The minor subdivision is currently going through the review process with the necessary county departments, and the lots will be known as MS 26-0003 and MS 26-0004. Recordation of the plat will be contingent on the approval of this variance.
Questions for Michelle? Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the public. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and the board. My name is Leon Brackey. I'm the licensed land surveyor for this project. The Olsons, which are the ones that currently live in that 3.5, 4 acre tract, couldn't be here tonight. They're in Minot. Class B state basketball. Ray's playing in it. Obviously, they won today. Woo-hoo, go Jays. So they are the daughter and son-in-law to Wayne Deering, who owns the 80 and the quarter to the north and a lot of the property around that area. They're farmers, they're family farmers. They farm together. They just want to split out their house from mom, dad, and the in-laws, so to speak. So I guess I'm here for any questions or comments.
So Leon, is the trailer their house and the big house is the parents? Is that what I'm seeing or what?
That is correct. That is correct. And they got another son that lives in the trail house just to the north. That's actually assistant basketball coach for the Jays. So yeah, it's a family deal.
So mom and dad's house is gonna be on a small parcel?
No, that is no. The Olsons are on the small parcel, the one that's highlighted there in the light blue. And then Wayne and the wife, they live kind of in the middle, the 7830 125th Avenue. Pretty much right there is where their house is, just to the north of that blue line.
So are the parents all right with this being pushed out of the way?
I don't want to speak for Wayne. I've known him most of my life, so.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anybody else wish to speak to this issue? Any other comments? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, what are your thoughts and wishes?
I'd make a motion to approve following staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mark,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one we have tonight is LU-0014-26. Jared Medhurst is requesting a conditional use permit to build a shop and utilize it for both personal and business use within the rural residential zoning district. This is located in Lot 1, Block 1 of Palomino Properties Homes Subdivision, being within Section 4, Township 154 North, Range 103 West, and that is Round Prairie Township. Round Prairie Township is undecided on their recommendation and added they need more information on the business. They also questioned if the neighbors had been notified about the business. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to utilize a proposed shop for both personal and business use. The property is approximately 10 acres and within the rural residential zoning district. The property owner is part of ACES Energy Services, which has 2 other shops where the business is ran out of. The applicant's shop would only be utilized to do extensive repairs and painting on the equipment when the space is needed. The applicant anticipates minimal impact to traffic in the area as they would bring the equipment out to the property, work on it, then take it back to one of the other business shop locations. Access to the subject property is off 54th Street Northwest, which is also known as County Road 4.
Questions for Michelle?
Is there restrictive covenants out in that subdivision, Michelle?
I am unsure. I don't remember seeing any, but I can't recall off the top of my head if there were.
I'll open the public hearing. Anybody wish to speak to this application? Any comments? Hearing none, turn it over to the board. Commissioners, what are your thoughts?
Is there a developer agreement or anything on this? The subdivision's not that old, is it?
Right. Yeah. I don't believe I know that it's a little bit older, but not, I mean, I would say within the last 10 years, I believe.
Seemed like we always had developers agreements or restrictive covenants on these back in the day.
Anybody else?
So do we know what Aces Energy Services is? I mean, is it a, trucking or, I don't know. I mean, I was curious.
I think they're a trucking and hot shop. They've got right down by the Moose Building, there's a bunch of trucks that say Aces.
The applicants are here.
Okay.
They could probably answer that question for you.
Okay, we closed the public hearing, but so we'll ask you to come up because one of the commissioners has a question.
Yes, we're a trucking and hot shot company. Me and my dad own it. We're a small company. We have about 8 trucks. Basically, we're just looking to get another shop out there. I was going to build a garage anyway, but I want to build a garage shop big enough to be able to work on some of the semis. We have 2 shops there in Williston, but for the extensive repairs, when we're doing engine rebuilds and repainting of the equipment and stuff, we don't want to tie up our 4 bay shops in town we use those for keeping the trucks on the road day to day. So, yeah.
Help me out. Is there any other big shops out in that area, or is it mostly residential, or what do you have? out
So Stellar Field Services, just a couple miles south on County 5, on that has a big shop on the west side of the highway. They got a bunch of equipment right there.
How close is the nearest residential?
So those 2 properties just to the south, they're also residential properties, but their houses are on the far side of the properties.
Yeah.
We'd be looking to put the shop on the east side of our property.
That's the 4 houses that were built like that because they had to have certain type of size of lot, so they clustered them all together for the services. Any other questions for the applicant?
Yeah, so I mean, you're not talking about, day-to-day business running in and out, trucks and back and forth and, something, you pull it in, work on it for, put a tranny or, whatever, and then it leaves again, right?
Yep. We don't even have a mechanic. It's Dad and I that do all the work, and so we're not even gonna have a mechanic working there. It's just gonna be us. So.
I have a question for the applicant. So do you have also just long-term, it sounds like you're growing. And so do you have long-term plans where, I mean, is this just a temporary situation where, when you do get to a certain size, you're going to get another shop in town and that's the intent? Or can you just give me a little more information on that, please?
So the 2 shops we have in town, we're just renting them right now. We eventually want to either build a shop in town too, or buy one as soon as the kind of prices go down on properties again. Next time we have a slowdown, I guess. That's kind of our plan there. But yeah, so eventually it will be just the toy shop out there and have our cars and stuff in there. Eventually.
It's completely unrelated. Was that you that showed up in that old Trino?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Michelle, with a conditional use permit, if there's complaints or concerns, it can be readdressed.
Correct.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. George?
I guess I'll make a motion to approve this based on the staff comments and what the gentleman said, that they're gonna use this temporarily.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mark's got the second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries. Thanks for coming back up.
Okay, so this next one we have today is LU-0015-26. Christopher Gent is requesting a zone change to the urban residential zoning district for a proposed approximately 2-acre lot. Current location of the property is the west half of the southwest of Section 15, Township 154 North, Range 97 West, being Nesson Valley. Nesson Valley Township is governed by Williams County, so no township comment was solicited. The applicant is requesting a minor subdivision which would create 2 lots. The parent parcel is approximately 79.85 acres and within the agricultural zoning district. The newly created lots will be approximately 2 acres and 77.85 acres. The larger lot will remain in the agricultural zoning district while the applicant is seeking a zone change for the 2-acre lot to the urban residential zoning district. Purpose of this minor subdivision is to create a small lot that will be gifted to the owner's nephew, Christopher, to build a single-family home on in the future. Access to the subject property will be taken off of 114th Road Northwest. The minor subdivision is going through the review process, and the lots will be known as MS 26-0005 and MS 26-0006. Recordation of the plat will be contingent on the approval of the zone change.
Questions for Michelle?
This is on the backside of Paradise Point, right? Were they notified or anything,
Yep, so everybody within a 1-mile radius received a letter.
That's correct. I got one.
Yes, he did.
I got one.
James, whose property was this? Was some of that stuff already in office?
Yeah, I think it must have been, and then Mick, I think your uncle Mick, he bought a big chunk of it, and I think sold off some of it to Mike Wells as well. So
Thank you. Okay, let's open the public hearing. Any comments from the public? Anybody wish to speak to this application? Third and final time. Close the public hearing, turn it over to the board. Commissioners?
I'd make a motion to approve staff comments.
Second.
We have a second. Further discussion. Tori, I know you got a question over there. You're just trying to work it out.
No, I'm good on this one.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan, though. Appreciate it.
Roll call, please.
Brett,
Yes.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries.
Okay, so the final item we have tonight is LU-0020-26, which is Shelby Anderson. She's requesting a conditional use permit to operate a small family-owned bait and tackle shop within the agricultural zoning district. Location of this property is the south half of the southeast, except the state, of Section 24, Township 153 North, Range 103 West, being Hardscrabble Township. Hardscrabble Township has recommended approval with the following conditions. They would like the approach to be readdressed and would like to have final approval of the approach and no off-sale liquor or beer sold. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to construct and operate a small family-owned bait and tackle shop. Shop will also offer other items to help serve the hunting and fishing community within the area. Subject property is within the agricultural zoning district and consists of 79.80 acres. Access to the subject property will be taken off of 44th Lane Northwest.
Questions for Michelle?
I apologize. I never get down there to that C-store that we approved a couple of years ago. Did that ever come to fruition or not?
Not as of yet. No. It would be to the north of that, up by where the storage facility is for that Lakeview storage. That's kind of the location of that other convenience store, but they're still working through some items there.
That was early last fall. Thank you.
Question, the approach issues, they're coming off of 1804, I suppose? or
Well,
they're
so
trying to come off the well?
originally we thought it was my interpretation that it was coming off of 1804, but they will actually exit off of 1804 onto that 44th lane northwest, which kind of curves and goes, if you scoot the screen up a little bit. Other way, sorry. So that's 44th lane northwest right there. And then they would, after like that curve, they would then have to get township approval, do an for an approach permit. I believe it would be township approval. I'm not 100% sure, but they would have to get approval with an approach permit to exit that road there. Yeah, I think it is a county road. So they would have to get approval.
Any other comments before we go to public hearing?
Were they planning on having liquor?
They were. I think from talking with Vicky, who is part of the township board, the township was really concerned that someone would go and buy alcohol there and then it potentially coming back on them if something were to happen.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the public? Anyone wish to speak to this issue? Last call. Close the public hearing. Commissioners, what are your thoughts and wishes?
Should almost make it mandatory they show up for these meetings. And who do you ask questions for? Pathetic with all this stuff going on tonight. The response you had.
Is it common for townships to comment on liquor and beer options? That just seems like a stretch on their liability concerns to me.
Well, that's what I was looking at too. I don't know that that's our decision to make. I mean, if you,
I just don't think it should be in their purview, so I don't find validity in that comment, I guess.
I would guess they could apply to, I don't know if you apply to the county for a liquor license or township or who you do.
Yeah, it would be through the county. I believe this would be within their jurisdiction, so they would have to follow all of the same rules and regulations, be up to date on taxes, I believe is one of their things. They would have to go through, I believe Dwayne does fire inspections yearly on any place that has a liquor license. So when they come back through to renew every year, Dwayne would have to make sure that they are meeting all fire codes as well before they would be allowed to have their renewed or new liquor license.
It's hard for me to imagine how liability could come back to the township unless there was a negligence on the road and the access wasn't correct or designed correct.
The township wouldn't have, I mean, you know, they wouldn't have any skin in it, right? I mean, so, well,
I would think when they apply for the license, that'd be the time for the township to come in and make, talk against it. I don't think at this meeting, I don't think it's our deal to put in there.
Any other comments? Do we have a motion? I'll close the hearing. Commissioners, what do you want to push? How do you wish to proceed?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Tori,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, motion carries. Anything else for this meeting?
Nope.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.